Henry Inman was a soldier, frontiersman, and author known for his widely read books. Born in New York City on July 30, 1837, Inman was the son of Henry Inman, an artist and president of the National Academy of Design, and Janet Riker O'Brien Inman. He studied in Brooklyn, New York public schools. After his father's death in his childhood, Inman was raised by his mother on a small farm near Hempstead, Long Island for about 5 years. He then attended the Athenian Academy in Rahway, New Jersey, and received additional college preparation from tutors. At the age of 20, Inman joined the Army in 1857 and served in Indian campaigns with the 9th Infantry Regiment in Oregon and California. During this time, he met William F. Buffalo Bill Cody, with whom he scouted and fought on the frontier. When the Civil War broke out, Inman was transferred to the 17th Infantry, Army of the Potomac in 1861. By October of that year, he had been commissioned as a second lieutenant. He assisted General George Sykes during the Peninsula Campaign and participated in the 7 days battles at Richmond, Virginia, where he suffered serious injuries. For his gallant conduct at Gaines' Mill on June 27, 1862, he was brevetted a captain. On October 22, 1862, he married Eunice Churchill Dyer, the daughter of a shipbuilder from Portland, Maine, and they eventually had 4 children. Over the next 2 years, he served in the Quartermaster's Department. After the Civil War, Inman participated in the Indian Campaign in Kansas from 1868 to 1869 under General Philip Sheridan and was brevetted lieutenant colonel on February 11, 1869. He also worked under Generals Alfred Sully, Alfred Gibbs, and George Armstrong Custer during the Indian Wars. While stationed at Fort Harker, Kansas as a paymaster, he faced charges of embezzlement and other financial issues between 1870 and 1872. He was ultimately dismissed, largely due to what appeared to be carelessness. Afterward, he remained in Kansas and began working as a journalist for the Larned Enterprise in 1878. He frequently wrote about his adventures on the plains and western frontier, with his short stories appearing in various magazines and newspapers. In 1881, several of his adventure sketches were published in a collection titled Stories of the Old Santa Fe Trail. After taking over as manager of the Kansas News Agency in Topeka in 1882, Inman went on to work for other newspapers around the state. He published another collection of stories, In the Van of Empire, in 1889. More books followed, including The Old Santa Fe Trail in 1895, which gained widespread readership. He also wrote The Great Salt Lake Trail, The Ranch on the Oxhide Tales of the Trail, Delahoyde Boys, and others. Additionally, he served on the board of directors of the Kansas Historical Society. In his later years, Inman was in poor health and left several unfinished manuscripts. He passed away in Topeka, Kansas on November 13, 1899. During this time, he separated from his family and lived frugally in a small hotel in Topeka. Despite his modest lifestyle, he generously supported a blind boy he had met in a hospital. Inman spent all the significant royalties he had earned from his writings, eventually falling into debt. Inman was buried at Ellsworth Cemetery in Ellsworth, Kansas. Lake Inman and the nearby town of Inman, Kansas were named in his honor.